Hello, welcome to a bit of another different episode. I just want to talk a little bit about the Living Legend format and my time at the Battle Harden in London, and just a few things I just wanted to say a little bit about the Living Legend format and why I think you should be playing it. So, I'll start this off really with by saying, why did I join the Battle Hard and Living Legend format? I mean, if you've seen me chat on Push the Point before, I was a little bit not 100% sure about the Living Legend format. It seemed like it was good, but I've been mostly focused around CC because I feel like that's the more focused of format of all of LSS's approach, and it seems like it's the most balanced and yada yada yada. So a little bit of a story time. I did go to Pro Tour London. I did sign up for the calling, but I brought a Florian deck, and I went to the the Sink Below promo event, and I took Florian. I played 3 games out of my 4, and I played into an Aurora, which was Lila Catton, and I got beat by that. And then I played into, I honestly can't remember who the other person was. It could it quite well be, I think it was Jarl. Could be Jarl. I can't really remember. But I won that one, and then I played into another Aurora deck by a chap that comes to my local shop, and he was playing Aurora, and I just got absolutely mowed. And then I saw this, well, before I went to the event, I also saw that there was a RuneGate Chane deck. So I thought, oh, this looks quite fun. I'll take it, I'll build it, I'll bring it along, and I'll just go to a side event, a Living Legend format side event. And I did. And shout out to, I can't pronounce his name on Discord, but you can see him on Twitter that he's replied to me. I think it's CYA Chai or CHY. I can't really remember. Sorry, dude. But I think he had something to do with putting out a list or whatever. But anyway, so I spoke to Rob Cam and asked him, hey, have you got a Chane? Are you doing the Living Legend format? He went, yeah, I fancy taking Chane. And there's this RuneGate Chane deck floating around. And I was like, yeah, I've heard about this. This looks pretty cool. So I'll tell you what, let's turn this light on. There you go, a little bit better. So yeah, he sent me the list over. I looked it over. I thought, I have no idea. This looks pretty cool. So I then go to I build that up. I take it to this side event, and I had so much fun. That deck is just reminded me of the power and everything about what Flesh and Blood can do, and it was just so much fun to play. And I 4-0'd that event and just went, this is I had way more fun playing this than I did in CC. So I went over to the desk and I said, I want my money back. I don't want to play the calling. I don't have the deck. I was playing Florian. It was just like, oh yeah, pitch, make grass, make a rune chant, and then swing for 3, or get a wall fell in, but which is fine, but not when you're playing Chane and you're just doing all this mad stuff. By the way, by the end of later on in this video, I'll show you the deck that I played afterwards as well, which you probably might have seen on Twitter, but if you haven't, I'll show it off on here. Right. So I said, I want my money back. I'm just going to go and do the Battle Harden. To which then all my friends played the calling, and I was feeling like, yeah, no, I made the right decision. I didn't have the right deck. I did actually look at a few Slippy decks and thought, if I had Slippy, I probably would have played the calling, because that deck looked like so much fun. So yeah, right, cool. Didn't play the calling. Then I went over to do another Living Legend event, and I went 2-2, and I got the kind of different experience of Chane where the banishes don't go your way, and I was like, but it doesn't matter. We're just gonna persevere through. And then I went to the Battle Harden, and yeah, I'll talk a little bit about that, how my performance went later on. But I wanted to just go through a few things about why I think you should probably have a look at the Living Legend format. I did actually, for the first time, I've written some notes. Ooh, but not written, I just wrote PowerPoints. But anyway, so that's why I did the Living Legend format with Battle Hardened, and yeah, just came out of that, had a blast. And turns out a lot of power is a lot of fun. Now, I don't know who you thought. It could be me. Because if you're having lots of power yourself, it's really, really, really fun. I don't know about how my opponents felt about it. Could feel moments of just pretty hopeless, and I do kind of know how that feels when I was playing against a chain mirror in a side event, and you just go like, geez. But I think it's that weird thing for me where if you know you've got a lot of slam power back and you get a chance to do it, it does feel pretty good it just feels awesome to do in general. But maybe Chane is going a little bit over the top here, and with the inclusion of cards like Cull, for example, it really does hamper quite a lot of what everyone else has to do. But I do think overall that you should really be trying to have a look at this Living Legend format a bit more. Purely because it really brought back to me just more of the more powerful things in Flesh and Blood, and it just made it in different ways. And I think there is probably another whole discussion about how much is, so much power, if that makes sense. Now, if you looked at CC, I think the most powerful things you can see in Flesh and Blood at the minute is stuff like Bonds of Agony, for example, just feels really, really, really strong. Or when Aurora does her Flicker Wisp into Arc Lightning and just goes off with that, feels really powerful. Or Enigma with Miragi, or back in when Zen had Bond, I can't remember what they're all called bonds. If you've got bonds written in the word, it's pretty strong at this point. So even though it's not as powerful as Living Legend, like if the ceiling is there and the power's there, it's powerful. And if we just put the ceiling up there and the power's up there, it's still just super powerful, right? And what Living Legend does is it just increases the ceiling of the power that you have in your deck. And that's the fun bit, right? And I think that I will be talking about the balance of it, but I think even if everyone is sort of sitting on a much higher power level, that's the bit about Living Legend format that's super, super fun. Now, games can go on, not going to lie. Games can sometimes just go on a bit. Sometimes they go over far too quick or far too slow. I think in the Battle Hardened, everything just went super, super fast because, it'll be over before you know it. Unless, of course, you're playing something like, I don't know, someone who's super intentional, trying to just slow things down, looking at you, Starvo, looking at you, Oldham, looking at you, Ice, well, anyone that just plays Ice. So it's the balancing act. But I think the power is the point of it, right? Now, is Living Legend balanced? No. It's not, right? I think you start with Chane. And maybe Zen, but I think the starting point is pretty much Chane. You go, right, this is the nuts. And maybe Chane's probably a bit of a weird one. Maybe it could be Zen. Zen's a far more consistent. He's going to go and do his thing, but he's got so much. But you can just get at him. Not always, but you can sometimes feel like you can get at him, and then he just doesn't go. Whereas Chane has a lot more. He has a lot more freedom, but a lot more risk, if that makes sense. So there are turns in the game where I just go, you know what? I could just block this out. I don't have to keep this whole hand, and I'll just recover from whatever he's going to give me. And there are some times where he just goes, "Here you go, my friend. Have some juice." Yeah, thank you, Chane. The juice is here. And I don't know. I sort of hedge my bets on that. And then there are times where you go, okay, no, this should be good. Start the game with 2-3 Chane, links what's it, Soul Shackles in, and he just goes, nah, no. And you're like, all right. Thanks a bunch. I felt like the whole thing was pretty much, it felt 2022, this Battle Hardened. It felt very much 2022, where it was Starvo and it was Chane. And then sometimes, I saw Dromai, I saw Briar, Briar, I was like, okay, yeah, still feeling like it's 2022. And Dromai was there. All right, Dromai. I mean, I think Dromai could be something, like, for sure. Dromai can definitely be something for sure. By the way, if you're hearing stuff in the background, dishwasher's on, so I do apologise. So, is it balanced? No. I think LSS really, you should... I know it's hard. I know it's really hard, but I think some more focus around how to really put some sort of, like, clip, just a bit, right? Just a bit of a clip on Chane. It's basically Chane and Starvo at this point, and it's always been Chane on Starvo. And I think it always will be. There will always be there. I don't think it's probably the greatest thing that they're just top dog. I mean, you can see if I just move over to here and move up to there, so you can just see there's Chane and there's Starvo. It's just the most, right? And then you can Zen being the next lot, Bri being the next lot. But there was quite a variety of heroes that just showed up. But I will just say that I think a lot of them just wanted to bring their deck. There wasn't really too much thought and focus about it. When I did play into the Dromai, he did say, look, I'll be honest, it's just a deck that I just haven't played in a while. There's some new stuff and I just want to just have a go. And I think there may be something there if we all actually looked at it properly. But stuff like Chane and stuff probably does make it go, well, is there much point? Because right now you got stuff like Cole and whatnot. But regardless, even then, I still think it was probably one of the most fun that I've had in playing Flesh and Blood. I wouldn't say in a long time because, I did like playing Viscerai and everything. But it was just, I couldn't get enough of it. I didn't even mind losing because it was just like, yeah, this is just way too much fun. Maybe it's just me and Chane. Maybe this whole video goes, look, Hamish is having a Chane crisis right now. And I actually did when I finished the whole Battle Hardened, I just went back and I was just looking at the CC meta and I just got that taste of power and I was just like, oh, this is way I just want to Soul Shackle, read the runes play into this tech creepers. It's just too good. It's just too good. So what else did I just sit there and put in my notes before I go over to my deck? So yeah, should Living Legend be taken more seriously by players? I think the answer is yes. Personally, I think the answer should be yes. I would love to see more calling events with the Living Legend format put into place on that. I know that they did one in Chicago, and I did watch that, and it was quite fun. And I know that they printed some cards clearly for heroes that was clearly only for the Living Legend format, such as like the Briar got that card, that Lightning Earth card, and he's like, clearly this is specifically for you, Briar. And then Dromai's been getting some of the Ash cards as well, and everyone's thinking, oh, there's going to be another Dromai coming up, but they are deliberately just printing more cards for heroes that are in this format. It would be kind of cool if you are kind of happy to just go, like, I don't know, for example, like Icelander. Here's something that is just got something for you, and it's just like a little bit, it just helps you just get a bit stupid. And when I say a bit stupid, it's, I don't know, just something that just goes, you see you Chane and Starvo, I got your number, and just having some more cards that just go, I'm going to challenge this a bit more. I don't know. I don't design and develop it. Just feel, but overall, it's just so much fun. I think you should just definitely try it out. It it's just not even in the same league as CC at this point, and that's what makes it quite interesting. It just feels like a like an all-star powerhouse game, and just jamming along and doing it is the best bit. I just think we just need to open up. We just need to open up more avenues for more heroes to actually take part in Living Legend format. That I think is the main thing. I don't think anyone really is that bothered about the power that you deliver. I think everyone just wants to feel like they have more. There's more options than just Chane, Starvo, probably Zen, and I know that everyone's going to turn around and say Prism as well, but I don't know. I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. But I wanted to just make my point on that. Now let's talk about the deck. Let's talk about Chane. Right. Let's talk about the most craziest hero I've ever played. Right. I'm not going to go into too much detail. It's just a bit of an overall. So play Chane. You got Carrion Husk. You just stick with Carrion Husk. Blot 6. That's awesome. Grasp of the Outknight. Yeah. Blots 2. We all know Grasp of the Outknight is awesome. Crown of Providence, it could pretty much swap out. You look at Crown of Providence and go, right, this is I block for 2, and this is for someone that's probably not going to draw 2, right? So if they're not going to draw 2 through Art of War or whatever crazy cards that they've got in Living Legend, you just put in Crown of Providence. If they are going to draw 2, then there you go, Balance of Justice. That's it. That's simple as that. I loved it. It was just like, oh, right, this is easy. Draw 2 or not draw 2. Bam. We're back. That's probably why I loved it. We're back. Rosetta Thorn. So good. Can we just put it back in CC? Everyone's going to go, no. But I think you should. I think this card was awesome. And Spellbound Creepers. I don't have to keep going on about Spellbound Creepers if you've seen my videos before. This card's awesome. And especially in Chane as well, just to get those card extensions. Now let's just talk about the reason why this deck is so cold, man. Oh, it's so unfair. Really interesting in a Chane matchup, to be honest. But yeah, everyone else is just not fair, is it? You go, okay, cool. I'll attack and attack. Take 1 damage? Okay, yeah, bam. Just lose a card, mate. It's all good. I don't lose a card because the card I put in my banished zone is playable. So I don't lose a card. You lose a card. It's all good. And then I remember someone was just slapping into me, and then I think it was the Zen player. He was just going in. He was just trying to go off, and I just blocked up a few cards to 1 or 2 damage. Sure. Yeah, cool. And he's like, oh, there goes my Art of War. Like, oh, no, it feels bad. And even when you're mid-attacking, you just go, cool, yeah, I'll just play Cole as an instant because you took damage. You're going to take damage somewhere. Yeah, just get rid of that card. So, yeah, I'm not going to be surprised if this gets dropped down to 1. I think that's just absolutely, totally fair because I think that's just causing a little bit of major balancing issues from playing. But this card was amazingly fun to play. I tell you what, everyone's going to turn around and go, oh, well, yeah, Art of War, you're going to need it. And do you know what I used Art of War for? It was just dig for cards that make rune chants, like Read the Runes or Deadwood Dirge. By the way, Deadwood Dirge. Oh, but we know Deadwood Dirge is really good. So, and Deadwood Dirge, I'll destroy an Aura control. Yeah, I'll destroy a Soul Shackle. Okay. Have 3 rune chants. Yeah, I will. Now, Art of War, you take that whole thing of just banishing a Runegate card to draw 2. It's actually like unless you draw the rune champ making cards, it's a little bit awkward, to be honest. It's not like in this deck specifically. It's like not the most powerful, not the most craziest card because you don't really need you don't really after resources. You're after rune chants the whole time. You know, it's the fusion of Vincent and the fusion of Viscerai and sort of the fusion of Viscerai and the fusion of Chane. That's what it's all about. So Art of War, just digging for more cards, more rune chants is mostly the key. And I mean, I don't know. You could probably just look at this and just kind of get it, right? You banish Runegate cards. You play Runechant cards to play the cards out of Banish Zone and just try and be a little bit clever of managing your action points, which is always what Chane is all about. And yeah, that's it. That's the deck overall. And then this side of the deck is just mostly, I think, 57 cards. It's mostly just, this is kind of your bread and butter. And there are times where you would take out the Widespread Destruction if you're playing up against Starvo, because they're just going to crown the seeds. And it's just, as I'm talking about this, it's just so much fun to just go, okay, it's not just, it's just a completely different format, a completely different way of thinking, completely different heroes, completely different strategies, and all of it really powerful. So that Widespread Destruction, you just take that out if you're playing up against Starvo. There is in the link a complete, gutted guide of everything, and I just looked at that and went, yeah, this just makes all total sense. So and then down here you just got more rune chat making stuff. This stuff here is Kano power. Didn't see a Kano, so didn't need to play it. And then Putrid Stirrings. You never thought this card will ever rock up again, rock up at all, and it does, and you just feel like, okay, awesome, maybe we should. And then I'm just thinking, should I play this in the Vin set? No, don't do that, because you don't have Chane's power to go have rune chants for free, my friend. So this card, just be wary though. It says Runegate, right? Don't do what I did when I played up against Charles Dunn in my second round, where I stupidly pitch a Phantom Wraith Blue to play Art of War to banish Shadow of Ursa. Might not have been a bad play if I happened to have drawn the a Runegate card, but I didn't. I drew loads of Rune Chant cards, and then you just went, I should have just banked on. I should have just banked on it and just played a bit more safe. But anyway, I lost that game. I should have pitched Shadow of Ursa into Phantom Wraith, because that's a Runegate card, and Putrid Stirrings only affects Runegate cards. Remember that, everyone. Right. So that is the list. There is a full sideboard guide on what to do. I think the sideboard guide is so strong that I got sent over that you can just read that. You can just play it. Just play it. The hardest part is not like, what cards do I put in here? What cards do I do in there? The best part about this is that it just goes, let's just go. Let's just go. This thing's so strong that it asks you to be good. It's like, what did I say to Josh Scott? I say, it was Josh Scott. This is like building IKEA furniture without the instructions, right? It's not like you got to make the wood. It's just, okay, this screw goes here and this goes there, and okay, is it this way or is it that way? The deck's solid. Just play it. Just keep playing it. Just keep working it out. And even if they did get rid of Cole and put it down to 1, it's fine, I think. Don't get me wrong. I think it will definitely just slow down the broken part of just going, it doesn't matter. But there's still some moments where you just go, no, I've got to play. You've got to play well. That's why I loved it. That's why I absolutely loved it. So anyway, so if you've seen my tweet about who I played into, so round 1, I played into the Dromai. I actually think that is a bit of an interesting sort of layout of the game. I think Dromai can actually run away with it a bit. There is a lot of poppers in your deck, though. I'm not going to lie. There is a lot of poppers in the deck. But I think Dromai could probably just look at actually being a bit more... I don't know if fatigue is the word, but I think there's a way Dromai can actually do it if you actually, put the legwork in. But I want that. Lots of reds. Only had lots of reds, so Rune Chants do naughty things and banishing cards and culls and all that sort of stuff and poppers. So yeah, I won that game. And then round 2, I played into Charles Dunn, which I said I lost that one. That one was pretty close. I had some really cool cull turns where I just actually happened to take his turn off. But Charles Dunn is going to win unless you play completely correct. And I didn't. And I did a wrong pitch. I don't know I'm going to say I'm going to win that, but it was definitely going to make the life totals a little bit harder. And yeah, I don't know. Who knows? But it turned into that one thing. Made sure I definitely lost the game. And then, Charles Dunn's so good that, yeah, it was his to lose, I'd say. But he won. So that's all fair. And then round 3, I play into, I think it could have been Lexi, I think. think it was Lexi. Can't remember. But it was either Starvo or Lexi. I played into Lexi and I won that. And then I played into Florin. So super sick dude from the Valley of Vampires. Played into him. He's on Starvo. Yeah, and I kind of just got some mad banishes and I won that one. And then I play into Alexander Vore on Chane, and really lovely guy. Talked through his plays, and I did say, this is normal. You just talk him through everything, what I'm doing, what he's going to do. But yeah, he's another fantastic player. Lots of value, kept chipping away. Chane does Chane things, and just happened to just take it out from there. So I play into him on that, and then I play into Chane Mirror from... I've got to actually just pull up all the names here, but I think it's Peter. And yeah, I just got lucky. Like, I'm not even going to lie. Chain mirrors, well, most aggro mirrors, as you know, takes an element of fortune of your deck, and my banishes were good, and his banishes were not that good. And by the time he got down to 2, I was on 30. So, and then he went and slammed, and I thought it doesn't matter because it is inevitable at this point. So I got very lucky on that and won that one. And then my last game was into a Zen, and again I just the banishes rolled my way really well and just stripped everything. And he was the chap that I played a Cole and just got rid of his Art of War, and it was like, yeah, and it just went from there. And then into the top 8, I play up into it was Yao. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I've got the thing here. I can just tell you. It was Jean. Is it? I can't pronounce it. Jean Chacon. Yeah, I don't know how. I do apologise, mate. That I played into you. We had this big long deck check, and then we just sat down to play, and it just turned into the classic Starvo versus Chane at the end of Pro Tour. That Chane and Starvo are going to go, and everyone decided it is just the Chane versus Starvo meta. Starvo's just going to try and fatigue. Chane's going to try and kill. It was the old classic asymmetrical matchup, and he started off throwing a big attack, but then I think he quickly realised that we got that I'm just going to take control of this aggro matchup, and yeah, just turned into try and fatigue, and my deck was just got about that big. Managed to pull it out in the end with just making sure he just can't get the getting a card in Arsenal for Crown Seeds is a big deal if you can do that. That way, damage is definitely just going to massively chip through. So I pulled that off, and then I played into the one of the British Goats, which is Jacob Clements. You might have seen him on a few callings internationally as well. So Jacob's approach was I'm not going to bluff, I'm just going to slam. And slam he did. He slammed away. And there was a moment of where I was going to get... I think he came in with just Starvoed, went into a big attack. I'm on like 11, maybe 10, I can't remember. And it was going to put me down to like death range. I've got 2 cards in Banish Zone, so if I just block with my Grasp for 1 and my Creepers, I'll be down to like 2, something like that. And I thought, I don't know, man. I've got 2 Rune Chat making cards in my hand. I've got a the Widespread Annihilation. Yeah, Widespread Annihilation in my hand. If I block with it, I can keep my health up. And if I happen to just banish some cards, I've got the Rune Chant card to make it, get rid of some cards, and then we're good. And then it turns out Chane went, nah, mate. Nah, have a Coal and have a Putrid Steerings. If I kept that card, I could have... who knows? Yeah. I was like, nope. Guess it's not. That was the moment when Chane went, no, you've had a good run, mate. It's not happening. So that was it, and that was the end of the run. And that's when I lost to Jacob. And then Nova won it on a classic Chane deck with just the old classic Bounding Demigod Eclipse, tell you what, it's been so long. Unhallowed Rites, you know, the old classic Chane stuff. Riftbind, that's the card. Riftbind. Oof, Riftbind is a crazy card. So yeah, that was my run. That was kind of my experience with the Living Legend. And yeah, I think you should just really give it a go. Really have a try. Have a play around. I think there's actually there's quite a few cards in there that can probably attack Chane a little bit better. You know, you've got stuff like Amnesia. Well, maybe not Amnesia. Well, just cards that just turn off the hero ability, because that's where Starvo and Chane really actually shine. Their hero abilities is very, very, very good. So, you know, can you actually look at attacking at more of an angle that way? I think the hardest part is just that they're from the start, maybe not Chane, well, as much. RuneGate Chane, I think, has got a stronger start than the traditional Chane, but from the get go, they're pretty strong. But at the same time, they can just print cards that kind of just taper them a little bit. But regardless, I think you should just play, have a go, have a run around, find. I know that Living Legend format gives a lot of heroes. There's more heroes to choose from there, but it boils down very quickly that they're not going to compete with the big boys. I mean, even if you just put these big boys in, put all the bands in, and they showed up in the CC format, you know, it's just going to get the Chane would still probably just mess you up for sure. But yeah, just have a run around. You know what the good heroes are. Just have a run around with them and have a play. It's just in soon you'll just be realizing, hang on a minute, you know, this level of power is actually really fun. That's my take. I have a massive amount of respect for it now. I will be paying far much more attention of what this format is going to be doing more. I have got my favorite hero, Viscera, which I didn't take, which, you know, is what it is. But I'm just going to be looking at it a lot more, I think, and I hope you do too. And I think you don't know until you play it. Like that's my honest thing. I think you don't know until you play it. And I've had a couple of people come and watch the game, and it's just, yeah, like I said, it's just different. It's just totally different. It's not bad different. It's still a great game of flesh and blood. And it's just asking people, you're just seeing strategies and cards and moves and things that you're just like, you don't see this in CC. You just simply don't. And it's fun. That's the bit. It's so much fun to see, to play, and to do. So thank you so much, everyone, for checking out this video. And thank you so much for all the love from the semi-finals place. I got a fair amount of patting on the back, going, well done, mate. I'm like, yeah, thank you, Chane. But yeah, thank you, everyone, and catch you in the next one.